Hello, everybody, and welcome to the YouTube channel, The Big Black American Secret. My name is Daniel Jackson. Please subscribe, like, share, hit the subscription button, and then hit the little bell. That way you'll be notified of all the any videos I upload or go live. Today, I want to address something that's very serious. I'm B1, and I hope whoever I'm talking to is B1 too. Black first, okay? Right now, we are the Black one family, in my opinion, is torn down the middle. Okay, I'm gonna show a video of somebody who I follow, and from what I can tell, he's fairly new to YouTube, just like me, But he talks about some things that I'm interested in, so I follow him. He's B1 like myself, and then he has a video, and he's going to be voicing some concerns about some people who, and I believe that he follows, perhaps that he may hold in high esteem. I most definitely do. You understand what I'm saying? Again, these are people who are black first. They down for the cause, But in my on my channel, I teach a lot on the system of racism, white supremacy. Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, of course, she's the lady. She taught us all about that system, and hopefully all of us are doing what we can to spread her message to each and everybody we come in contact with. But that being said, understanding the system of racism, white supremacy, and even going deeper, and this is something I learned from listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins. He mentioned that we're all white supremacists. And that struck me strange because I hadn't thought about it. But he absolutely right. Because we live in a system of racism, white supremacy, we all are white supremacists. We think white people's ice are colder. And that's what Dr. Claude Anderson says. So that being said, because we have a little white supremacist in us, that's our inner slave for black people. And when certain circumstances rear up, it lets you know exactly how much more purging you have to do on a more regular basis to get that inner slave up out of you. You could be 100% black first, down for the cause, but you still got a little bit of inner slave in you. We all do. You understand? Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. And we sometimes it's okay to be checked sometimes because we don't know every goddamn thing. You understand what I'm saying? But you check people with the spirit of love. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to ask for your patience, I'm going to show a video for the fella, one of the people I follow. And again, I follow everybody I'm going to show you today. So I kind of want to play devil's advocate or like a referee. I want to hopefully bend people's mind to see something that they have not allowed themselves to look at, if that's possible, okay? So I'm going to cue this video up, and I'm going to get about the business, and then I'm going to let it play. It's about 20 minutes long, and then I'll come back in and give you what I just told you I'm going to give you. You know what I'm saying? All right, so. Okay, yeah. Bear with me, I'm just kind of, what they call it, nigger rigging this up a little bit so I don't have to hold on to it. So I'm gonna try to hit play, see what happens. No. I apologize. The video of the person I'm gonna play, his YouTube channel is called Major TV Let's Talk. You understand? Didn't mean to be rude. So let's see. Okay, let me try that again. Okay.
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is Major TV. Let's talk. I got snippets of clips of different videos from a video that was posted by Lord Jamar Tariq, Rashid, and Vicky Dillon who are not supporting Grandmaster Jay and are very critical of him. I'll let you check these videos out. These snippets of videos that I downloaded on my channel. Then I'm gonna get my take on everything.
The last show that we did, we had Grandmaster Jay from the NFAC on the show, you know, and I just want to say, you know, after subsequent information, you know, that came to me, I kind of felt uncomfortable about having the brother on. I'm not gonna, whatever, talk shit about the brother, but I just don't feel like that movement right there, you know, under that leadership right there is something that we need to be lining up to join, okay? I'll just say that.
If you're gonna have a show of force, show the force. Don't get out there marching around and not doing anything and bumbling around and not being focused. See, if you're gonna show force, show fucking force. But don't go around and the leadership is weak and compromised and there is no real direction. And we gotta stop taking L's and then acting like just showing up is a win. The white supremacists like promoting that bullshit. They like telling black folks, hey, the fact that you showed up and got your ass whooped, man, you're out here. You're doing great things. They want you to do more of that dumb shit. Now, let me be clear. Now, I've said my piece about that Grandmaster Jay guy. Again, the Grandmaster Jay guy, this guy, and let's just be real, nobody's hating on him. And that's another thing. People are like, why are you hating on him? He's nobody to hate on. Grandmaster Jay is nobody to hate on. Nobody really knows the guy. The guy came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, this dude is out here saying he's the leader, and this is the thing that raised the antenna. Because you got a lot of coons out here who think attention is currency. They own some shit. He getting attention, and y'all just hating on him getting attention. First of all, he's not getting attention. That's the thing that's suspicious. Grandmaster Jay is not getting mainstream attention. That's the thing that's suspicious about this guy. That's the first thing that tipped me off. The guy is not getting a lot of mainstream attention for these publicity stunts that he's doing. Usually, if you pull something like this, the white media will start demonizing your ass. The white media is not doing that about dude. He's not getting no mainstream attention at all, which is why I'm suspicious. That's the first thing that tipped me off. Hey, ain't nobody talking about this nigga's background. Nobody's saying nothing about this dude. Hey, nobody's demonizing. Look, when black folks out here in the streets for real, the news will demonize your ass. I know, they demonize me. If I tweet something, it's all on Fox, CNN. They done spun it. They know how to demonize your ass if you out here for real, for real. The fact that they ain't really saying nothing about this dude, that's really goddamn suspicious. And he gets out here and says a bunch of reckless shit. That's the thing that's suspicious. He's not getting a lot of attention by the mainstream media. Nobody's really talking about him in the media. They're talking about these black militants are out here marching and all this, but they ain't really talking about him. And I've worked with the media before. I know they get rules and they get their instructions from the top. I've been on all these networks, and I've wanted to talk about things that happen, and they say, well, the execs say we can't talk about that right now. I'm like, why? Everybody's talking about it online. Why can't we talk about that? Well, our execs said we can't talk about that. So they have to get shit from the top. Somebody from the top is saying, hey, don't talk about this guy. You know? And again, this guy, Grandmaster Jay, again, this guy has a background that's real funny style. This guy was in the DJ thing, and he was lying about his DJing credentials. And there was something about this guy. Going all the way back to 2013, there was some stuff about this dude where they were calling him out for lying about his DJing credentials. This guy, for some reason, he was just going around making all of these real bogus claims about his DJing credentials.
Fuck me, baby! I'm not the one. I'm born for this. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. So some of our black militia family, many meant well, showed up. In support of our sister, certainly Breonna Taylor, putting pressure on these white supremacists in whatever form they show up in. We want to have a show of force. I know that's important. But it was me, I believe, for those of you that says, oh, somebody's hating on NFAC. I believe it was me. I believe it was the Vicky show that did a show celebrating the show of force of NFAC, not effing around coalition, when they were in Georgia. Does anybody remember that? If I'm so loud, which I know I am, check your device and just hit the volume. Lower your volume. Lower your volume. Does anybody remember Sister Vicky doing a show dedicated to the NFAC not too long ago? Okay, somebody said, yes, I watched it. Okay. Does anybody recall me doing a show about the black armed brothers and sisters who escorted the black politician into, I believe it was Michigan Capitol, before I did the show on the NFAC? Does anybody remember that? I just need some witnesses. I just want to make sure I got to make sure that I'm not crazy here. Does anybody remember that? Okay. So slowness for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out there, and only for them. I was excited to see black defense. I was excited to see our people take a stand to say, no, baby, never again. I was excited for law-abiding black citizens. Even though I might defend myself differently from them, what I was celebrating was the fact that they were saying, hey, we are not going to let you unjustly murder and kill us. I think it was me that did those shows. Is that right, family? Okay, so let's be clear. This is a space for intelligent black people. You got to take all this into consideration before you come for me. Now that I've put that out the way for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, thank you, Ann. Speak truth. We who have ears to hear will hear the queen. Thank you, beloved. That's all I'm saying. When you listen to white women, you're going to get yourself confused around this piece. When you listen to black-looking people, that is to say people with white supremacist mindsets, but look like on the outside, they're one of us. Now, watch this. Listen to something. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Recently, the leader of NFAC, not effing around coalition, shout out to you, LL, love you, Vicky. You love fairness and equality. That's right, beloved, and I love you back, and I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Listen. The leader of NFAC came under fire, and fact that he ripped off his Black Lives Matter shirt and said all lives matter in front of white folks, white police officers, or whoever else was there. I'm not going to get into the issues of his music career or not, or get into possible alleged political ambitions. I'm not going to do any of that. Because I want you all to understand my issue is not this particular brother. I'm going to say it again. My issue is not this particular brother. My issue is the white supremacist who might be able to use him or any of our people. Somebody talk black to me. Please take your woosah breath right now. For those of you that's sitting on the edge of your seats, wondering what I'm getting ready to say to quote unquote disrespect your group, Vicky's not about that life. I recognize so many different spiritual faiths, different black folk, different backgrounds, whatever your different station is in life. And I put my money where my mouth is. This is not about attacking a man. This is about exposing a vulnerability and a weakness that might be there.
Look, my whole issue with this is this. No one, first and foremost, is above criticism. I get it, right? But my problem is, and I'm not too much tripping on Lord Jamar because he didn't really reveal a whole lot about why he didn't want to interview Grammy. Talking about not, he don't feel like he don't feel like we should align up with Grandmaster J and NFAC. I do have issue with that, real issue with that. I mean, he didn't reveal the reason why. And I feel like it's such a big movement in this day and age. It's like you discouraging or you're getting in the way. I understand we can agree to disagree, but to do things politically like we doing and down in brothers, and I'm talking about, and this was like on some mellow type stuff, right? It wasn't like he was very blatant and directly saying anything far as I knew, right? But Lord Jamar been in constant movement for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And the brother been on Vlad type TV for, he fell out with Vlad for a minute, spitting on Jews and whatnot, and a lot of things he was saying was controversial, right? But people still supported him and was messing with him. But I don't want to elaborate too much on Lord Jamar because I feel like first I'm disappointed in him, but I just feel like the non-support is a bad thing. I won't lie. But see, Tariq and Vicky, they way over the top. And Tariq is basing his premise and his conspiracy theories around the fact that dude put on a big, he trying to say that dude putting on a big old show and the mass media don't take. Mass media is not gravitating to it and talking about it. He talk about how he was in the news business or what have you. And what the execs may say. Look, let me say this first before I see what I have to say about Tariq. Look, can Tariq see and everybody see there is major racial tension in the United States of America? Black people are being shot down. Black people homes are being invaded by police. Black people are challenged in ways that now we are not only dealing with the police violence, and the violence in our community, we also dealing with white people that's starting to shoot us down. White people that starting to target us when we going in our home, or to our apartment, or a loft, or what have you. You know, we're being targeted, not even believing that black people even own a house in a certain area or live in a certain complex or subdivision or apartment. There is so much crazy stuff going on in the years that Trump has been in office. There is a lot of crazy stuff going on. We just complained about 8 years of Barack being there not doing enough for black people specifically, right? And now that Trump come in office, and how his racist rhetoric and his negative attitude, and how he have supported racist groups and whatnot, and made it very visible and known to everybody. Black people got tired. And when Grandmaster J came on the scene with them guns, he messed the game up. The white folks was not going to put that on TV so that other black people can see that and get the idea of arming themselves and fighting back. Come on, Tariq. You're supposed to know better than that. There's a reason why they don't televise it. They don't want no uprising from black people. These white people are afraid. That's totally against what they've been doing. This racist country and all this systematic racism that's been going on for years, they're not about to let us come in there and creating a wreak havoc. So no, they're not gonna televise it. He has been televised on CNN and CNN for sure, I think USA and somebody else, right? News. He had some coverage, but not no major coverage. But I have to ask Tariq's question. And bro, are you ever wrong? You always right. You know everything. You can just see through everything. Damn, bro. Admit you're wrong sometime, bro. I can't give you this one. You with this conspiracy theorist shit, and you're not really bringing no facts, bro. All this time, this man been out, oh, nothing ever come out on him and what have you, and that's messing you up. Damn. Look, and let me get this out clear. No, I'm gonna say that I'm going to Vicky Dillon. She was talking about how she supported him at first, because Tariq supported him at first too, before he called him out about hustling. Vicky claimed she supported him and what have you, and she's making all kind of noise, beating on TV and whatnot. How she supported Grandmaster J, and people know that. But then she had a dash of the sin. That's the twist she put with it, right? She said, but she don't want the white supremacists to use him. And I stopped, like, how the hell they gonna use him? Then I said, oh. Talking about getting black people killed. I'm so damn sick and tired of people talking about black people getting killed. We already getting killed. We already been put in the system. We're already dying from COVID. They're already trying to give us vaccines to kill us. I mean, I don't understand black people no more. We forgot that the Black Panthers did this already. We forgot that throughout the history, especially the South, in the United States, period, black people had to arm themselves because of white mobs coming in our community and bringing havoc. We have never been a people that don't fight back. All this land was fighting. You forgot about Nat Turner? You forgot about Harriet Tubman? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. You forgot about Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. They had guns out there. They was fighting. Look, I don't get it. And this bullshit about dude background, and they're talking about this man rap career. They're talking about political career. This man can do what the hell he wanted to do. Y'all act like if a person was a coon, if a person was uneducated, if a person was whatever, and they changed, y'all have a problem with that? Really? I told y'all in one of my videos when Nicky Giovanni said on Breakfast Club, we should want to live our life in contradiction. I didn't know what she meant. But I thought about it, she broke it down. Because
All right. Thank you all for being patient and listening to that whole video. Again, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Be like a referee. And again, I follow everybody who you just saw. The guy making the video and the 3 people on video. All good people, all down for the cause. So you see why I'm torn. Because I understand what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? And here is exactly what I want to accomplish in this video. I want you all to just take a minute and think, how powerful would it be? No, I'm going to back up a little bit. The United States government, after seeing Grandmaster Jay and his Grandmaster Jay, I ruined his name once or twice in another video. I promise you I'm not going to do it again. You know, people was pissed off at me about that. But anyway, Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC went to South Georgia, and this, I live in Georgia, and behind Ahmaud Arbery's murder, nobody had been arrested. Nothing was being said. Him and his crew got together and they went down there to find out what was going on. 30 days after him and his crew made that appearance, the United States government, William Barr at the helm, created a federal task force called the Attorney General's Task Force to combat violent anti-governmental extremism. Okay? That task force was designed, created specifically when they saw protective black male masculine energy stand up to protect its people. Now, and again, I'm here to play devil's advocate and redirect our energy, because right now we're doing what we typically do as black people suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. We do a lot of infighting, which causes separation. And we don't need that right now. You understand what I'm saying? On the plantation, when a protective male buck stood up to protect his people on the plantation, racism, white supremacy took that buck, embarrassed him in front of everybody, and killed him to instill fear in all the other young male masculine men who was even thinking about standing up, and also to neutralize the woman. She now knows that her protective mechanism in her man no longer exists. Now she has to negotiate with the white racist male slave master. She's now going to break her children for him to keep them safe. She's going to teach them to eat out of the palm of his hand. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's going on here, people. This is not about Grandmaster Jay per se. He is simply the first victim of this racist federal task force that was created. This task force was created because it's racist, and when that masculine black energy stood up, it felt threatened. It felt like a terrorist attack on them. Grandmaster Jay obeyed the law, First and Second Amendment. We have the right to form a militia and protect ourselves with guns. But apparently, that's meant for white people, because this task force has not gone after anybody else in this way. These people was just in Washington burning stuff and fighting each other. There's been no serious arrest made. You understand what I'm saying, people? Now, my black family, y'all are very focused. Y'all talk about every subject on the planet. Here is what I'm hoping you all will do from this day going forward. Turn this energy towards this racist federal task force that was created. Let's shine the biggest light on this racist government that we can. Because racism cannot stand up to that kind of light. We have to unify around destroying the system of racism, not white supremacy. Yet, Grandmaster Jay, very rough around the edges. He pissed a lot of people off. You know, I'm sure if he had to do differently, he probably would approach things a lot different. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's human error, whatever it is. I don't know that man personally, but what I respect is he stood the fuck up. He stood the fuck up. And we're going to stand up with him. We're going to support him using our platforms to not put him on a pedestal. No. To put this racist government on trial for being racist. Because, listen, if we do not unify behind this cause, around the cause of destroying the system of racism, white supremacy in our own government, bringing the shining the biggest spotlight on it as we can, because it's always been racist. But we have to now unify around putting the biggest ass spotlight as we can on this. Put them motherfuckers on court. You feel what I'm saying? That's what we unify behind. You see? And we all got different views and we do things different. We're going to piss off each other off on a whole bunch of different levels, because we all different. And that's fine. But what we do unify around is one thing. We're all black first. And you all have seemed to have forgotten that. You understand? Cut it out. Cut out all the bullshit. Again, I ain't here to chastise nobody. I'm just here to simply redirect your attention. You ain't got to go out your way. Just do what you always do, black family. Shine the light on racism when it rears its ugly head. We need to cut that off. You know, when that buck on the plantation was killed in front of everybody to kill that masculine energy in everybody, and to show that black woman didn't have no protection, that night, all of those slaves should have got together and burned that goddamn plantation to the ground. That's how you battle racism, white supremacy. That's how we do it, people. There is no more time for fear. There is no more time for any of this. And if any of y'all are concerned about it, well, if I start talking about it, then the federal government gonna start looking at me. Guess what? They're already looking at you. If you are in this fight to liberate your people, and you fighting against racism, white supremacy, you are fighting against the federal government. You are fighting against white people. You own somebody's whiteboard. People know who the fuck you is. You ain't invisible to the system is what I'm trying to tell you. You got a bullseye on your back. What I'm saying is, if they're allowed to go forward with this, that gives them more ammunition to go after you later. They just don't have anything to go after you on yet. That's what this is. It's setting a precedent. You know what I'm saying? Our people allowed Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers to stand damn near alone, and they got murdered. You ain't gonna be able to live with yourself. You're gonna be on the wrong side of history if you allow yourself to be still upsetting in your feelings because somebody hurt your feelings. I'm pretty sure you've said things and done things to people who have hurt their feelings. And if you had the chance to make it right, you would. Chalk it up to human error. Let's get our heads out of our asses. I don't mean to be harmed. I promise you I don't. But what I'm saying is this is that serious. Please take this in the spirit that is meant, because it's in love. I love each and every one of y'all. And I ain't just speaking to the people on that video. I'm speaking to my whole black family. You know? How powerful would it be? How powerful would it be? And we ain't even got to spend money to support this thing. I'm talking about your social media platforms and posts. To do what you always do. You've been doing it so lovely so far. But how powerful would it be if our black leaders, I'm talking about our real black leaders, you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if he made a speech saying this federal government has this racist attack from the federal government on this man who stood up to protect his people. That's shameful. If he just speak up and say that's shameful that they've created this federal task force to do this. And then if Dr. Claude Anderson stood up and said the same thing, and go down the line, you know, people like Dr. Boyce Watkins and Jason Black, Vicky Dillard, Tariq Nasheed. You know what I'm saying? Me, everybody, we get on the same accord and say, hey, we are not going to let this racist government create a task force to take down people who are speaking against racism. Because that is terrorism. That is governmental terrorism. And we can't have it. Come on, people. Please. Please wake up and understand this. Because if we allow this, we're all going to be next. Some way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. Like I say, I'm playing referee. I'm playing devil's advocate. Because nobody's right and nobody's wrong. We all just see things differently. But what we all have to do is remember we black first. On this, the battle is against racism, white supremacy. It ain't against each other. You see what I'm saying? That's old slave shit. That's the little slave inside you. You just want to do what white supremacy tell you to do. Fight it. Fight it. Because you do not want to be on the wrong side of history on this one. You know? There's strength in numbers. We all have fucked up in the past and done things we ain't proud of. It's what we did today. What we will do tomorrow that matters. You understand? Now, Vicky Dillard, I follow her religiously. I do. She be dropping jewels and she come with them receipts. You feel what I'm saying? And she said something. She might even just said it recently, but no, this one she said a little while ago. She says, change is coming from the ground up. And then just recently on this video, she said, well, what this guy, you know, this is about exposing a weakness and a vulnerability, and I'm going to add, in our black family. This has exposed a weakness and vulnerability in the black family. One that we got to address today and move forward in one unifying voice. Down with racism. Governmental racism will not stand. These kind of attacks are wrong. And we're going to stand financially and with our social media posts, because that's what we're supposed to do. Because guess what? If they would attack me like this, I would hope y'all would have my back. If they attack you, I damn sure got your back. You feel what I'm saying? This is how important this is. So take your personal feelings and put it on the shelf. You know? If you meet Grandmaster Jay in person, y'all can hash that shit out later. It ain't about him. You feel me? Put on the boxing gloves, get in the ring, do whatever y'all got to do. Fight later. It ain't about none of that, okay? So, again, it's simple. On the plantation, when racism, white supremacy killed that masculine, black, protective energy, that night those slaves should have burned that fucking plantation to the ground. And that's exactly what we got to do now. We got to burn this racist governmental mentality to the ground with our social media posts, with our energy, financially if we can. You understand? We are family. And when you are a family, you have a duty. You have a duty out of love. When your family members ain't doing right, to say, hey bro, hey sis, come on now. You know, you can do better than this. Wake up. I love you. You know, come back to the fold. Let's get this right. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all take my energy in the way it is coming across. I thank that brother for making that video, because I felt like him on a whole lot of level. When I wasn't hearing a lot of prominent black first family people speaking up on this racist governmental task force that was created, it's like, how did y'all miss this? I'm going to come down on you a little bit, because I am concerned. How did y'all miss this? Is it because you were so upset with Jay, or you were so afraid of the federal government? I don't know. I don't even want you to explain it to me, because that was yesterday. But I'm just telling you, me personally, I was a little confused. And that's in the past. I don't need no explanation. Let's just move ahead, all with the same mind and the same focus. We crush racism wherever it raises its fucking ugly head. You know? And I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't got a whole lot more to say. I got some stuff running on my thing here. You know? Well, I did have I'm going to back up a little bit. So my question was this. Are my people who are black first, are they being strategic by being silent? Or are they being fearful? I was confused. I was leaning more toward the fear. You know? But maybe y'all really didn't know about this federal task force that was created 30 days after they saw the NFAC. So I just had to say that and get that shit off my chest. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, just want to make sure I got my points here. But again, we don't want to be on the wrong side of history on this one, people. We really don't. We really don't. Okay. Okay, listen. Oh, and I got new subscribers. Thank you for coming on. People who have supported me by Cash App and PayPal, continue to do so, because again, this is a war we in, and this is something I want to do on a daily basis. My other businesses keep me tied up, and I need to be freed up. I'm gonna assign managers to those tasks so I can do this. This is what I've been called to do. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very important. I'm also going to show you GoFundMe webpage where you can go for those who want to help support Grandmaster Jay and his legal defense fund, because that's important. Again, we can't leave this man out here hanging to dry, because he could be any one of us in the black family. Our government is simply telling us, if you stand up against racism, white supremacy, you are a terrorist to my government, to the United States government. That's exactly what they're telling you. And you and I both know they've been using this same tactic since forever. And the shit ends. It only ends when we make it fucking end. So, again, how powerful would it be if tomorrow I start to see videos where the Honorable Louis Farrakhan get up and say, hey, this federal task force that was created 30 days after seeing the NFAC needs to be abolished. These charges need to be dropped on this man. We're going to support him 100%. You know, if he stand up, and his whole nation going to be behind him. You know, if I stand up, everybody who follow me, a good portion, I'm going to be behind me. You stand up, your people going to be behind you. Strengthen numbers, people. Strengthen numbers. Dr. Boyce Watkins' platform. Dr. Claude Anderson's platform, Jason Black's platform, all of us. This is what we do, people. We fight the system of racism, white supremacy. We end it. We're going to end the system of racism, white supremacy, and we're going to replace it with what Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says, with the freedom, justice, and equality. Because that's what we was put here to do. We've lost enough people. We ain't going to lose no more. You know what I'm saying? So, like the video, share my post, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell and then hit all so that you'll be notified when I go live or when I post other videos. It's so important, everybody. And if you do not understand the system of racism, white supremacy, please click the link in my description. I'm going to have Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's video in the link. And again, my Cash App and PayPal information will be in there if you want to help me continue to fight to push this out to my people. You understand what I'm saying? We've lost too much, you know. And anybody who's followed me, they understand what my channel is about. It's called the Big Black American Secret. And the secret is you are the only real true American. You are an American. We've been at war for 528 years. For us, that started with Christopher Columbus in 1492. 6 months later or so, the Roman Catholic Church put a stamp of approval on and gave Spain the right to enslave the Aboriginal indigenous black people here in the West Indies, in the Americas. And then all the other European countries got involved on the mainland. France, Germany, Europe, all of them attacked our people. We was fighting slavery on every front. See what I'm saying, people? These are things my people don't know. And these are the things that my platform is to teach us. And I know a lot of y'all don't understand that, because the out of Africa theory been drilled into our heads, but that was only given to us by the eugenics people. I mean, it's crazy, but the truth of the matter is this. We are at war. We have been at war for 528 years. And we have to be unified in this fight. So, in the spirit that I gave it, is it the spirit you're going to receive it, I hope. Because, hey, my brothers and sisters, I love you. And in love, I'm telling you, you know, come on back. You know, let's get a big hug. Everybody just hug each other and say, hey, look, man, look, I'm with you. We're all together. You know, you pissed me off a couple of months ago. It's all forgiven. You know, I apologize for my transgressions toward you. You know, we good. We back on the same page, because this federal government that was created 30 days after this man showed up with this crew is proof that they still ain't changed. Their goal is to eliminate us. They stole our identity, land, resources, labor, and lives, because this land belongs to you. You understand? Now, I'm going to spend a little time, because y'all got me, you know, to a point. And I showed y'all, I made a video about this a couple of days ago. But I'm going to prove to you real quick that you are the only true American, okay? Would you say this is close to my color, brown? Yes? Now, I'm going to quickly Google the definition of American. But it's from the year 1828. And y'all could do this too. Google. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud. It says, I'll let you see it in case you don't believe me what I'm saying. American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. This last sentence, I want you to burn that in the back of your brain, okay? The Eskimos in our history book, that's a Mongolian breed of Asian that come across the Bering Straits about 12,000 years ago. That's what paleontologists say. Look it up. Those folks are Eskimos. Always have been. Matter of fact, if I still got it here, and this is the 2020 census, you probably got one in your house. So feel free to check my receipts, okay? Now, I'm going to show you this part here where it says American Indian. And again, you probably ain't going to be able to see it real good. But right here it says American Indian or Alaskan Native. And if you keep reading all the way down, I'm just going to read it. It says, principal tribe, for example, Navajo, Blackfoot tribe, Mayan, Aztec, native village of Barrow, I can't pronounce their word, traditional government, and then Nome Eskimo. Nome Eskimo. You see that? These people are Eskimos. They always have been. So what happened was these Europeans, when they came here, and I'm going to say this too, before there was white supremacy, there was European domination. What do I mean? And why am I separating it out? Because we all have always thought that European meant white people, all white people, when that's not the case. European, that the European continent, like the American continent, like the African continent, was all black before the Ice Age. Small group of white people come out of the Ice Age. Those were albino people, came from black people. You can have two blue-black Africans give birth to an albino. Okay? So you had Europeans who are white, and then Europeans who are black, or swarthy is what the definition is, and what it says in the history books. They're Europeans, they're black people. You know, they're Europeans. They look like you and me. Okay? So we are aboriginal to every landmass on this planet. Every landmass, without exception. The out of Africa theory is just that. It's a theory given to us by the racist white people who stole the identity of the Europeans. And then they came here to America and stole our identity. The black American. What do I mean? That's what I mean. It says American now applies to the descendants of Europeans born in America. That's why white people are always telling everybody else to go back to the country where they come from. They think this shit belongs to them. No, you belongs to a small little island in Europe. You stole those people's identities. Okay? Now, European dominance was first. You had black and white Europeans who came here. A large majority of the plantations in South Georgia, I mean down south, in the southern parts of the United States, were the dark Europeans. I made a video, and I called these people white niggas because I thought that they was white people treated badly. These were the Irish, the Scottish, Germans were sent here, and they was given land lots next to Indian tribes, and they started the system of indentured servitude, you know, and that's how slavery started. Slowly, work for hire. You work a 7 or 10 year contract, and then once you get out of that contract, you're free from your contract. You know, you got money in your pocket, and now you buy your own land and do whatever. That's why when we came out of slavery, so, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us had land and money. A lot of us couldn't figure out where it came from. That's why. And then, fast forward to the latter ends of the 1800s, Europeans, and this is right after the Bacon's Rebellion, because our ancestors, the Aboriginals, the Indians here, and those black Europeans got together. And it was an uprising called the Bacon's Rebellion. You know? And then I think a couple of hundred white people got killed. And then the powers that be in England says, you know, hey, we can't have this happen again. How are we going to fix this? That's when that's when Europeans became white. It was like a labor dispute. You know what I'm saying? They elevated Europeans, not just white people, but Europeans to the level of white. Aboriginal black people stayed here. Okay? Oh, I forgot to tell you. Let me back up a little bit. So when the Europeans were here and they saw the Eskimo Indians, the Mongolian breed of Asian that come across the Bering Straits about 12,000 years ago, they said, hey, it's a small number of those people. We're going to tell people that those people are the original people here. They're the Indians. All of those other black people that's walking around, those brown and black people, about a millions, we're going to say that we brought them people here from West Africa as slaves. The transatlantic slave trade was told to us in reverse. I follow Dane Calloway. I follow Kurimio Aha. I suggest you all do the same. Time is short for us people. They pushing this COVID-19, and y'all got to know. You got to know. If you follow Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, you got to know it may be something behind it. I'm not telling nobody to take a vaccine. I ain't telling nobody to take a vaccine. What I'm saying is make an informed decision for yourself and your family. Use all of the information you have at your disposal. You understand what I'm saying? So, when West African slaves. But the transatlantic slave trade was told to us in reverse. They took us from here to Sierra Leone, West Africa, to Spain, to Europe, and to other parts of America. It's like a big shell game. Why did they do that? Well, they found out pretty quick. You cannot enslave a man in his own home. It's very difficult to do. I'll give you an example. I use this example quite a bit. And this could be man or woman. Let's say somebody broke into your house, got the upper hand on you, black boot stomp you, lock you up and put you in your basement. They got your spouse upstairs cooking, cleaning, and they raping them every chance they get every night. Got your kids in the garden, tilling to the land and preparing your food and raping them every once in a while. You get loose. By some happen chance, you get loose. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'll wait. Murder. You're gonna kill that motherfucker. And in that case, it ain't really called murder, it's self-defense. But you're gonna kill that person. I don't give a damn how religious you is. If you a man and if you're a real woman, that motherfucker gonna die. Period. Point blank in the conversation. And that's exactly what happened. They tried to enslave people on their own land and they got handled. You got relatives right down the way. You know the landscape. You know the land. Very hard to do so. But if you enslave somebody and you put them on a ship and you send them somewhere else, they're more apt to comply. You know what I'm saying? It's simple psychology. Okay, so the transatlantic slave trade started in 1619. 20-odd Africans, Jamestown. We've all heard the story. Most of us seen the movie Roots, right? That was a cover story for the real slave trade that took place here on this continent. You want to know what that slave trade was called? I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna Google it. It's called the International American Slave Trade. Excuse me. Google. I'm sorry, it's the International Indigenous American Slave Trade. Very important to put that indigenous in there. All right. All right. Okay. See if I can find that, because they be moving this definition around quite a bit. It goes further and further down every time I look it up. Okay, well actually here it is on top. I'll scroll down too fast. All right. All right, I'm gonna turn this around. European colonies purchased indigenous people as slaves as part of the International Indigenous American Slave Trade. International Indigenous American Slave Trade, which lasted from the 15th century, that's the 1400s, to the 19th century, which is the 1800s. Okay? Now, this slave trade started sooner, lasted longer. Have you ever seen or heard anything in your history books about on a slave ship? No. They told you they tried to enslave the Indians. They would run away, couldn't find them. The heat was too hot for them. So we had to go get some West African slaves. Ain't that what they told you? If you grew up in America, that's what they told you. The reason we think this is because our history is skewed. Nobody talks about Indian slavery. The conquest of America. Slavery in Indian country. The other slavery. Indian slavery in colonial America. You understand what I'm saying? So, my people, My goal is to get y'all caught up to speed on who the hell y'all really is. And I'm glad to do it. You see what I'm saying? Now, I do teach it's a 4-week course. It's a video course. It's $199. We meet once a week by video conference. You get an assignment. Come back a week later, we discuss, and you get more assignments. And then after 4 weeks, now why do I do this? I've learned over this couple of years I've been doing this is that because of the system of racism, white supremacy, our minds is like a Rubik's cube. It's jumbled up, right? So when you're introduced to this kind of information, when you start to see it a little bit, like me, you're going to go through a period of, it's kind of like when somebody in your family died. I lost my mama. I don't know if you've ever lost a loved one. If you understand it, you go through the 5 stages of grieving, you know. And I want to say that it's denial, regret. Eventually it gets to acceptance. And that could take a while. We don't have that much time. So my goal to be a coach is to help you get through to those 5 stages is more quicker than I did. You feel what I'm saying? Because it almost shuts you down. Some of the stuff that I've said to you right now today has offended you because you thought you was a West African slave. I apologize for offending you, but it's not my fault. I'm just telling you the truth. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just one way you could do it. Everybody different. We all learn differently, and I ain't trying to force nothing on nobody. I also have a list of videos that'll get you to the same point as the coaching course, you know. And it's only $49, and I'm glad to give it out. Just send me an email, and I'll get you squared away on that. It's probably about 60 hours of videos, easy to watch videos by people who do this kind of research, people I learned from. Again, I follow Dane Calloway, Kirimio Aha, and a host of other people, along with all of the people that's in the black family. I follow a lot of people. And I told the people the other day, here's my superpower. I have the ability to sit through, listen and read and watch hours of boring shit. If you ever sat and read a book with letters that small, the whole damn book, that's enough to kill. You make you want to kill yourself if you was just a normal person. But apparently I'm not normal. You feel what I'm saying? So that's my superpower. And I distract truths a little bit of here, a little bit of there, because this has been hidden from us, you know. But again, I didn't mean for this video to go in that direction. I just go kind of where the spiritual energy takes me. You feel what I'm saying? But long story short, our fight is against this system of racism, white supremacy, and our 528-year-old enemy. And people, this is a fight we can't lose. We will not lose, because I'm not going to allow us to lose. That's what you got to have in here. You understand what I'm saying? So I thank that brother for making that video, for speaking his heart, speaking his mind, you know, because we all as brothers and sisters have to hold each other accountable, to be strong enough and love us enough to say, hey, sis, hey, bro, you could handle that differently, or you're on the wrong side of this one here, you know. And if I'm wrong, reach out to me and tell me, you know, Daniel, bro, I love you. Please take this in the spirit that's given. You're seeing this on the wrong angle, you know. And I'm pretty sure I'd be open enough to understand. And on that note, people, again, I'm gonna get out of here. But do like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and then hit all, so that you do not miss anything. Okay? We in this together, people. Black first.